Scramble Battle of Britain has now just launched into early access, but it is not feature complete. And in fact, when it is feature complete, that will be then the launch version of the game. So there's still a lot of work to be done on the game as they sort of work through. I know that I wanted to just put out a video to sort of show that it is here. You can buy the actual game now rather than just play the demo. The demo was great, I've got to say. It was really, really cool to play that. But this is now the early access version of the game. It is missing the whole campaign. And it is missing multiplayer. Multiplayer I could see coming in fairly soon, just personally. I think that would be something that will come relatively quickly because I would imagine the mechanics are sort of there in terms of the actual game itself. But the campaign, my understanding of that is that they really want to actually get a lot of feedback. So during this early access phase, to put together a really solid campaign for the game and how that might look. So I'm assuming even when they start to actually release the campaign, there'll be a lot of time of just testing it, I would think. So the reason I wanted to just highlight those two things right now is that I know a lot of you don't like early access games. I do. I think when a game is not ready for launch, it shouldn't be a launch ready game, like it shouldn't be in launch. And so if there is work to be done and tweaking to be done and they want player feedback, for me early access is the perfect way to do that. But the second thing is it is not feature complete, and quite often early access games will at least have a skeleton of what's going to be feature complete and then work from there. So I'm thinking that lack of campaign, lack of multiplayer at this stage will turn a lot of you off. Having said that, if you have a look at the Steam page, Steam reviews, and just see the critical reception of the game by other players, it is rating incredibly highly, like in the 90s. So people love this game, which is fantastic. So anyway, that's essentially the intro out of the way. I don't want to play much of this one until we start to see the campaign, because that's probably where I'm going to be wanting to sort of highlight a lot of what's going on. There is a mini campaign called Squadron Leader, and that's what I'll show you a bit of that in this particular video. We also then have individual missions, the dogfight generator, instant action. We'll have a look at all of these different things, how to play, replays, options, quick to desktop. I'll just cover what's in here because, but without really sort of going into a hell of a lot of depth about the actual game itself. As I say, when the campaign comes, I do really plan on sort of spending a lot more time with this game. I've thoroughly enjoyed playing the demo, like as in not just a little bit, but enormously. The actual way that the game works is just it does it so well. As I said, I just thoroughly enjoy playing this game. Anyway, we'll just go across. I'll start. Where shall I start? Let's start with the mission. No, let's start with how to play. Options is just going to be like various sorts of options you've got, like use metric units. I'll click on that one. Zero controls on start turn. I'm not sure what that means. Not sure what that actually is. So they didn't. I thought they had tooltips in some things, but they don't actually have it in through here. Video. So fairly simple with what they actually have through this other side. Audio. I'll just keep that audio in around there. That'll be okay. And then controls. You can invert the Y and X axis, which it's funny because like in a lot of flight sims, I find that I'm always doing that. Like particularly if you're sort of using, depending on what you're using, like joystick sensitivity and things like that. Because this is a WeGo game, this is like essentially a turn-based game. It's not like something where it's not a real-time flight simulator. So just if you're coming in thinking it's going to be a Battle of Britain flight simulator, it sort of is, but it's actually a turn-based one. And so I just use the keyboard, and the keyboard's fine for what we want to do. Launch control rebinding, yeah, that's all fine in through there. So we'll just go back and return that one through that side. Replays are where you can actually have your battles. I don't know if it'll remember it. Actually, this is from the demo, actually. We've got instant action and single player missions will be sort of in through this other side where different things actually then happen. And you can actually then go and have a look at the whole replay. These are very, very cool, I've got to say, where you sort of get to sort of see the whole thing. Actually, yeah, replay was recorded in an older version of the game. Playback may not run as expected. I was actually going to ditch them anyway, to be honest. So anyway, we'll just, I'll leave them alone. Actually, how do you delete them? That's another thing that's not in here. Unless you just open the replays folder. Yeah, okay. Well, that's where they are then in that case. So you've got your replays folder. Funny that there's no delete button on the actual button on these things themselves. Strange, very strange. Anyway, you can actually, that's pretty cool the way that one does work. How to play is also done quite nicely. This is essentially just a series of little indicators back and through here. You don't play anything as such, or you don't play much, but you get to sort of just see how to actually control the aircraft, what to do with each of these. So it's not very long to go through the whole list. I do find it a little bit clunky in trying to scroll through at different times. Like if you're outside this little area, you like if I go down to here and start to scroll, it doesn't work. So you got to be inside here to go through all the various aspects of the actual how to play aspect of the game itself, to be able to then scroll back and forwards. But it is good information. It's very succinct, and they do explain it very, very well. So I will sort of give them a thumbs up on the content, but not on the user interface. I'm going to be a bit more critical than I was with the demo, I guess, because like it's again, I know that you guys, some of you will be a bit put off by the fact that it's early access, and certainly that it's not feature complete. Anyway, so there's some good stuff in through here as well. Yeah, we'll just go back in through there. I'm not sure what they're going to do when the campaign hits, because it's a fairly, the how to play is already fairly clunky, and not clunky, but there's a lot of information in here already, and it sort of needs to I think it needs to have a way of segmenting it out into different categories and subcategories to make it more digestible, because this scrolling is a little bit annoying. Anyway, that's just a bit on that one. As I say, I'm going to be a little bit more critical than usual with these sorts of things. Okay, then we've got. I'll start with the missions and the dogfight generator and instant action. Let's just go to instant action. If I go and click on that one through there, we just end up with essentially a random mission that is then sort of generated for us, where we end up with, like in this case, 2 Spitfires and 2 ME-109s. In through that side, I'll just go and go back. If I quit to the menu, if I go to instant action, just see if it generates something a bit different. That's still 2 versus 2. It may just be doing the 2 versus 2 for instant action, I'm guessing. So I haven't really played much of that one. The dogfight generator is where this is interesting is this is actually now new from where the demo was. And so we've got a little bit more that we can sort of then do with this one through here. So the player Air Force, we've got the Royal Air Force, or we can actually play as the Luftwaffe if we wanted to. And so friendly aircraft, we've actually got like a friendly 109 counts. You can only actually fly the 109s. Again, I'm sort of hoping that they open this one right up. So you've got much more limited aspects when you are playing as the Germans. So in this case, I don't like the way it moves forward like this, to be honest. Again, that's really just like you go, oh, click on it, oops, it's moved. But yeah, you can sort of then just sort of drag it to have as many as you need to have, or as many as you want, up to 6 actually, which is way too many. But no, that's they did test it, and that 6 was what the devs found was really the limit of it being fun. Like for me, it's about 2 or 3, rather than having too many that you're controlling. Spitfires, again, it'll have up to 6 enemies coming back through that one through there. The start height will be random, or you then have like a various sort of like levels of height that you then are sort of working with. The advantage, again, sort of running from enemy advantage, where they've got the height, by the looks of things, overcast morning in this case, neutral, or in this case the player advantage. We've got the height and the jump on the enemy there. Anyway, that's and then you've got things down to here like the weather, time of day. Don't know what it can do there. Dawn, morning, noon, afternoon, or dusk. So you've got like a whole range of different things. And through that side, and cloud cover goes from clear, cloudy, and overcast. So they're the various options that you have through there. So randomized with current settings, or randomize all settings. So you can then just go and click on that one. It'll then just generate a game for you. Now, if you play it as the Royal Air Force, you then you can still only play with the Spitfires. So you've only got Spitfires you can then go and use. But you now actually have 109s, 110s, and Stukas. So if I just got to go through this one, if I just go and make it one aircraft for the British, one of those, and one Stuka. That's all we have at the moment. Now, there will be others coming. I think that there's going to be sort of like some bigger bombers coming as well. So there's still a lot to bring into the game. And I've sort of, this is again where if you are on the fence and thinking, it's not feature complete, it's nowhere near feature complete, really, in reality. And so, some of you, as I said before, some of you are not going to be wanting to embrace the game yet. So that's why I thought I'd just put this out, show you what's here. I love playing the game, but I can see where some of you will have some struggle with it. In this case, we've got Stukas, ME110s, and a 109 through there. The 110s are interesting because they've actually got a rear gunner as well, and the Stukas are your bombers. That's the one you sort of have to then go and try to destroy before they can sort of do too much. Anyway, that's sort of where we are with all those different sort of settings, which is fine. So that's just the dogfight generator. I'll go back out from that one. You've got individual missions as well, where you've then got sort of like training missions where you can sort of then go shoot and kill, lead your target. A lot of these were in the demo, so merging, Stuka intercepts, extra hard dogfights back and through here, new challenges, so you can actually, this is where you can go and fight as a 109 versus Spitfire merging. So you've got sort of this one in through here, two S4s, so we've got the Spitfires, versus 109Ss back and through here. I'm sort of looking forward to when we do end up with the actual, like with all of the different sorts of aircraft that are going to be available. It's as I said before, the actual game itself is a very, very cool game. Anyway, there's a series of missions there that you can do, but Squadron Leader, I guess, is probably going to be the most interest to a lot of you because this is the closest thing to a campaign that we have. This is really like a precursor to the campaign, so I'm assuming that this possibly will just disappear and just become a part of the campaign, or maybe it'll stay as a mini campaign. And this one you actually play for 30 days, or just you've got a different squadron. You can have a new squadron. It just randomizes the actual pilots that you've got. Squadron Leader basics in this game. You manage your roster. You blah blah blah. I'll just start the battle, and we'll sort of figure it out. So the way this one then works is you've got two sections, Alpha section and Bravo section, which is where you essentially are going to be playing with. You also then have your list of pilots back in through here as well. And so you end up with, and if I hover over these guys, you can sort of see that this one here, this is Mustrum Mincemeat Wilson, and he has gotten 0 kills at this stage. It's a natural pilot, full range of control inputs available for him, and so I'm just going to drag him from there into the pilot for that particular one. The next one that we have in through here, you can see turbocharged, extra thrust at high speed, mostly coordinated, 5% control authority reduction, and physical specimen, so that withstands more Gs before blacking out. So he's actually good at moving and doing different things. Let's actually drag him into the other role in through there. Carol Liss in through here. This was someone from Poland, I think, is looking at the flag there. So flight response, lethal when under fire, and natural pilot, full range of inputs. So that's a fairly good group there for the Alpha section. Go to the Bravo section. In this case, Alex Simpson is a welder, critical armored critical components, lower speed, mostly coordinated, in a marathoner, resistant to stamina reduction. So he'd be good. I'll just drag him into there. But so there's a bit of difference with each of the actual pilots, which is interesting. Daredevil, damage and defense buff when multiple enemies are nearby. Poorly coordinated, so he does lose a bit of authority, and claustrophobic, so control reduction when near friendlies. Ooh, okay, so he likes to be on his own. And then we've got Eve's M. Knight. So lucky, loses critical components left off, and stick and rudder, resistance to control limitations. Just throw them into those. We've got all these other guys. Let's actually keep one more on active duty. Let's go and put the others into leave. So just drag them across. There's maybe some negatives. I have seen, yeah, this one here is, for example, is average coordination. Coordination, not coordination, it's coordination. So we've got a typo there. Does it have the others? Just see if it's just everywhere. Coordination. That one's actually coordination. Coordination. Yeah, so it's just this one here, the 15%. Anyway, that's we'll drag that one into there because he's completely uncoordinated. Anyway, let's continue on. So that's sort of what then happens. We then actually have 4 phases for every day. So there's a lot of it'll take a while to actually play out what's actually happening here. We'll just confirm the sections, which is I'm covering the word, but it just says confirm sections in through there for day 1. And so we've got 4 possible times, and we just progress the time. So nothing happened at 8 o'clock. Progress the time. Oh, here we go. It's scramble time. Actually, 8 a.m. we have gone, and Bravo section has taken off. We've got 2 ME-109s, and we'll then be fighting them in this one. Now, there's also, I haven't seen any combat over land yet, and that's also to come. So, yeah, I did really want to get this out and let you know it is completely not even close to being feature complete with what's going to happen with the game, or what we think will be happening with the game. So just be fully aware of that. Okay, so rates really, really well. People are loving playing it, but there's a lot of content to come. So I'm not sure how long it'll take for them to actually start to do anything. Anyway, it looks like we've got the drop on these 2 Messerschmitts. We've got the height. This is going to be a fairly easy start for us, I think. So I'll just start the match. Just press space. As you get into the actual game itself, you will very quickly look at the training, read what's actually there. It'll help you enormously. To submit your turn is just the return. If I go and press enter, it will then want me to commit the turn again. So it's 2 enters to actually commit a turn, but you can go back and use the backspace to go back to the planning phase. And so the planning phase, in this case, we've got, and I can just right click to sort of start to drag things around. We've got the 2 aircraft at the bottom. Everyone's running at full throttle. They're actually moving. See how they're moving down that way? I can just tab my way across from plane to plane and just sort of go to any one of those. I can also just go down and click on the actual Messerschmitts and just sort of see, like, we're coming from the actually the sun is above us. Actually, it should be early in the morning, so the sun should be on the horizon there somewhere. Yeah, it's sort of funny because it sort of looks like it's above us, but looks like it's there, but that wouldn't be 8 a.m. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know if that's actually a bit of a bug there as well. Anyway, there's still a lot of work to be done on what's actually going on through here. Anyway, we're going to start to spin around. They'll start to spin back in towards us as well. I'll just go back and press tab. So I'll just tab across. So this is Edge Tutor. As I sort of go and click on them, we'll then sort of get what they are. This is the Daredevil. So we've got all of his list of what he can actually then go and do. This is the G meter back and through here. So this is the G-force meter. Arrow represents the current G's felt by the pilot. Static line represents G tolerance, and the moving line represents the G's felt by the ghost. Pilots will gain or lose consciousness for G's above or below the tolerance. So at the moment, we're actually doing okay. It's just if we go above those G's, we're going to have some sort of problem. All I'm just going to do here is just going to use the WASD key, start to spin things down. I'm going to start to dive a little bit. So we'll just do that one with this particular aircraft, but still keep the throttle going full bore, and we'll just start to sort of spin back around. Tab across, do the same deal in through here, just start to sort of move. I'll move that one a little bit less than what I did the other one. Tab across, and even less again there, I think. Okay, let's just see what actually happens here. Press enter, then enter again. Now they are coming underneath, which is what I thought may happen, which is why if I just tab back across this first one, I'm now going to start to sort of spin him around to sort of start to try to line up the others. Now, a bit of a tip if you do get the game, when you've got it, like when you're sort of trying to find out what's going to happen, press the G key. You'll then go to the front of your aircraft where you'll actually have a chance to then sort of see what's going to happen with lining things up. Sometimes this can help to see if there's anything that is actually lined up. What I want to do is I just want to get into a position where I can start to bring it around to potentially line up where it might be. Now it could fly up, further up. It could go completely underneath me. I'm just going to leave that one there. Press tab back to the next one, and I'm just going to start to bring all of these around so that they can just come back through. Tab again. I won't spend too much time with this because there's it'll take a bit of time just to sort of get it all happening. I'm just going to just have them sort of spinning around a little bit more, and enter. They have come under. That's interesting. So now we actually do have a bit of a spiral going in through that side, which means that this one here is probably going to be the only one that's really going to have any sort of option. Actually, you can see there, when I do that, that's now putting stress on the, see how the G's have now gone over? That's the trouble with this in this instance. And so what's going to happen through here is, this is the stamina. As stamina depletes, the G tolerance will lower. Stamina depletes faster for higher G forces, long dog fights wear the pilots down. So this black line will start to go down. We want to be mindful of it. As you see, as I brought that one down, I'm just getting close to the tolerance as he flies through this particular loop. But I will go down a little bit. I'll just keep on sort of flying this one across. And I've actually turned the aileron full to the right in through here. Okay, back across to this other side. We'll start to spin this one around. And just bring it back up again. And bring that one across as well. I'll just press G because this one actually is in a reasonable position to sort of be in a position to be close to where this one actually is. Let's just see where we can, if we can get a little bit up where we're sort of thinking that we're going to be able to jump on him as we sort of come through. So this is potentially fairly close. Let's just see how we go with this. I'll just leave it, say there. That's probably still not going to be quite right. Let's just see how we go. Enter, enter. Nope, they've swung back the other way. So we sort of missed our opportunity with that one. This one's now swung all the way through. It's a pretty cool game, I've got to say. It's not easy. It's not an easy game at all. Let's just go and see if we can actually now bring this one up and around. Don't be too worried about the G's, but like if you have to do it, you have to do it. So in this case, I'll just spin this one around to try to then catch up with this guy. This one may flip completely over with what we're doing. Let's just press tab. This one is actually now still coming around. We'll just keep this one up in the air a little bit and tab across to this guy who has now sort of spinning around. And God, I could actually move this one so that we end up flipping. I think I'll actually do that. Keep the right aileron on and still sort of go into a bit of a dive. Be careful that you don't crash into the water, of course, but we're a long way up. The other Messerschmitt has sort of now moved. We've moved past that one, but we'll see what we can do with this one here. We may have actually now flown past this particular one as well. But it is a very, very good game. I'm not going to spend a hell of a lot of time doing this. So it's sort of, if you miss your opportunity, it can take quite some time to get them back. This one is now entering into a full-on dive. I mean, with the G forces, let's actually just not put too much G's. You'll see that the screen will then go with little black dots when you start to have a little bit too much G force going on. Let's just leave that one there, and this one again as well. We'll just try to sort of get it so that we don't actually. We're getting close to the G's, but we're not going to sort of let them dictate what's going on. Yeah, so just get it close to that level through there. This one is already for sort of too many G's at this point in time. Let's just keep it there. Your aircraft can also suffer fatigue as well, by the way, which is fairly cool. I mean, sometimes you just have to do what you have to do. Just press G and just sort of see where we end up. We may end up with something we can line up with there. I'll keep the G's going there. As we swing back around. There we go. We actually have some. This is showing that we can actually get some things lined up with that one. But I may be able to do more with this by. No, it's not going to quite do it. It would do it at the start, but not at the. There we go. We've got a little bit more through there. Just see if I can get closer to the back end here. I get a little bit of air of place in there where I can actually get some potential shots in. I'll start them off. Yeah, I'll do it. Just do it there. What you do at that point is you can either just press the Z key or Z key if you're from America, or just click on the ammo. And so I'm now going to be firing with this aircraft. This other one is swinging back. Let's just go and press Tab. We've got this one as well, which is sort of, again, we're just wanting to sort of line them up. So let's just keep this one coming back through here. Just press G and just sort of tweak where it's going to end up sort of aiming. Oh, there's even a shot there we end up getting, but I'm not going to take that one. It's going to be a little bit sort of lucky if we sort of could get something, but it's close to being lined up. And we'll just go back to the last one as well. And I will dive, I think. Actually, no, I might just bring it up slightly and we'll just sort of level back out. You can actually go back to level flight, just where it'll try to maintain level. This can be useful when you're trying to leave the battle. Let's just see what actually happens here. We'll go back to our other aircraft and just see what happens when we do start to fire. So, enter and then enter. Yeah, we hit it. You've probably heard it there. Now what we can do through here is actually see what actually happened in the actual fight itself. So we did actually get something hit this aircraft as it came through. We can just go back and review the last turn. So we can just go and press the backspace and then just sort of scroll back and forwards. And I can actually go and select this aircraft in here and just try to sort of see what actually happened with the various bullets as they came through. You can see there that's where the sort of where the bullets is then going to hit the aircraft. Now we hit the front of the aircraft, but we didn't actually do any damage. So as we sort of get in a bit closer to have a bit of a look, yeah, there's a fair bit of, actually there's a lot of hits. So we actually ended up with a lot of hits actually hitting all the way down the aircraft, but it looks like nothing actually stuck and did any real damage, which is a bit lucky for this guy, to be honest. Because I thought that would actually be a bit of a problem. So that's Becker. So yeah, we're not seeing much in through there. We can see with his aircraft, this is M. Becker, if there's any damage that we can see, it will show up in here. And there may still be damage, we're just not aware of it. So anyway, that was of interest. Let's just go back out now and press enter just to go back into planning mode yet again. Again, I won't spend too much time with this, but I just wanted to sort of show you how the game was played. Now he's coming through. Let's just try to sort of keep this aircraft keeping tabs on him as he sort of comes back through. We've got the other one at the back there. Now I probably should set this one as the target, so I'll make that the target there, X, just so we sort of end up with this one not firing at it, but just aware of it. Now this one here has come all the way through. We've sort of now done more than we can really sort of get to do in through here. So let's start to wind this one up. We're getting close to the sea. I think I will actually use the G-forces and just come out of this dive a little bit. So that's okay. And then we've got this guy here who should be able to now line up Becker's aircraft. There we go. We've got some reasonable shots as we sort of bring this one forward in through here. So we'll continue peppering the aircraft with this aircraft. Again, if I press G, we'll just get a bit of a feel for if we can line up where that one is at the end. We're probably going to find that further back we're going to end up with more shots early on, which is actually good for us. So that one should be good, and then we should be in a good position to just keep things going. If I just press G again, I can then just start to look and see, as I tweak, am I getting, what the game thinks is going to be better or worse? Actually, that's even better. That's even better. We're getting more shots in through there. As I bring them, that's the most optimum. So let's go and turn on his weapons. Just go back and press tab again with this one through here. That's all off. That's all off as well. This one has to just get back out and avoid flying into the actual ocean. Let's go back to this one and just see what actually happens. So we're going to have now it's going to be turned on. It's now going to be aiming for this particular aircraft. Yeah, we got it, and we did some damage there. Some things flew off the actual aircraft itself. So we can see there, yeah, M'Baka, critical damage left aileron, lost the left aileron, left wing, critical damage left elevator, the rudder, and the right elevator. So it's actually now, there's a lot of damage done to his aircraft. If we just go and press backspace, we can then sort of go and have a close look. And from the aircraft itself, let's just scoot on back. So as he's come back out of the first one, where he's been peppered with bullets all the way down, we now have the next aircraft coming back through. Now I can press play, but I like to just sort of see what happens. Here comes the bullets, and bang, we've got him completely lined up. We then get the shots coming straight through. The first one that actually hits actually does hit that aileron, takes it right off. So as it hits there, bang, it just smashes it straight off there. We're then going all the way down the aircraft, and then we hit the tail as well. The rudder then gets hit. You'll notice the actual aircraft will fly completely different once this actually happens, not just a little bit, but like completely. And so he's in a lot of trouble. And with his aircraft selected, we can now start to see things like this red where the aileron was. The wing is now under stress, so he's to be very careful what he does with his flight simulation. The rudder and the elevators are all in damage control. So he's not going to have any real movement over this aircraft. We could almost ignore this one now. Now the other aircraft we've got is if I just go back and press tab, this one is just now skimming above the top of the ocean, but the G's have actually been extreme. So he now just needs to get those G's under control. But he is, he's fairly close to the ocean. You do have to be mindful of where you actually are in your heights. We may get a shot there. Anyway, let's just go back out and press enter. And this one here, yeah. Again, we want to bring him out of the G's now, and then just start to maybe fly level. So just give him like level flight. We'll just start to do that just so we can get him stabilized, and then we'll sort of work out other things. But he's got a little bit more to do with this G-force that he's got at the moment. So he'll come back through. Just go to the other one, back in through this other side. We've got this one has essentially been, I would consider this one to be knocked out of the fight. So we could continue on and try to finish it. And so I'm guessing we might as well do that, I guess. So let's just get this one. We'll just press G, and we're going to fly right in behind where he actually was. Not that he's actually there. He's there right now, but he won't be there when we do other things. If we go that way, he's not going to be able to do a hell of a lot. Let's just go and press G again and just sort of see what happens with the actual. Yeah, we want to be close to where he's going to ultimately end up being. So I think that works pretty well. Let's just turn on the ammo again. The ammo will then go down. So that's actually then going to be just continue on. He may spin back the other way, but it's going to put pressure on him. All right, let's go back to this last one. We've got the other aircraft is just spiraling in back around where he actually is. You can have collisions, by the way, so just be aware of that. But this is going to then sort of spin all the way through. I'll just dive underneath this one, but we'll go back and watch from this perspective here, I think. So we'll just press enter and then enter again. There we go. The wing's been blown off. He's now completely out of action. So that was all sorts of damage done to where he was. If we just go back and have another quick look at the action, and go back to the actual to M'Baka's Messerschmitt, we'll just sort of see what actually happened. So there was damage that was done immediately, essentially as he's come back through, and so as we then come back through, that's now thrown the other aileron off. Yeah, we've thrown the rudder off at this point in time. See how the aircraft is actually jigging around in the air as different things actually happen to it. More damage done, so much damage done to the wing that it breaks off. So we're completely smashing it. It's now completely out of control, and he is now so close to he's trying to now jump. He's opened the canopy. He's going to try to jump out, but he's going to be very close. He's only 194 meters off the surface of the water, so he's not going to be able to really make it. All right, back again. Just go back to the planning mode, and now this one here is trying to zip in around to get in behind this one in through here. Let's just have this one sort of just start to not go crazy. We'll just try to sort of move this one around. This one here is was on level flight. I'll just unselect the level flight, and we'll just start to sort of move this one around as well. Again, we don't need to worry about this aircraft. It is dead and buried. I'll just bring this one up to sort of join in with the other fight without putting any real G-stress on anything. And this one here, we've now done what we needed to do there, so we'll now start to bring this one up. And again, we have to be careful that we don't fly into the water. So I will actually put some G-stresses on this aircraft, and we'll start to now move up to join in with the other flight. That one should start to come around to use this one as a target. So we'll just start to get into a position where we can then go and do these. So this is going to go extreme G's back in through here. Enter. Extreme G's as we come back through. So the other aircraft is now exploded in like it's actually now hit that one. Let's now bring this one back. And where we're sort of looking with this one, we'll just be ending up... we'll just bring that one around and just see if we can sort of just line that one up. Bring this one across. I'm going to swing this one around to just sort of level up a little bit and keep in front of this other aircraft and maybe give them a bit of a target to see if we can line something up in through here. And then this one is coming also around as well. So I'll just start to sort of bring this one so that it's actually then looking more at where the aircraft might be. Again, I can just go to G. If I do turn on the ammo, I can then see where it's going to be actually lining up. That's as far around, pretty much as actually. No, I can get it to there. Let's just do that. Let's just see where it may swing back the other way. I'll just keep it there. We don't want to be firing, of course. So I'm just going to turn that one off. But the controls are very, very good and very nuanced, much more nuanced than you can actually explain in a video. Let's just go back and watch this one. That one's lined up more than we thought. So it didn't go out the front. It's sort of now kept it sort of straight and level back and through here. Now we'll just go and press X and create targets with each of those. I'm just going to go and bring this one back the other way. Probably going to go up a little bit actually, so I'll just move it up slightly. This one we're in a reasonable position to try to get in behind it, I think. We may have to put some more G's on this particular one to then try to swing back around. And this one here, I'm just going to go and just sort of slowly start to bend in around over the top of this one. I can also change my throttle as well if I'm wanting to. Yeah, I'll just leave it there. Again, we have to be a bit careful of collisions, so let's just avoid the other aircraft. And we'll just bring this one, we'll just get G down into here. And it thinks that that's sort of where the other aircraft is going to end up. That's what it thinks it's going to be doing. So we'll just sort of leave it in around there somewhere. We're getting still a little way above the it's still a couple of 100 meters high of the actual ocean, of the channel. Okay, and this one as well. We're just going to keep this one now just flying around. Again, I'll keep it low like we won't sort of put the G stress on. And this one here, we do want us to start to bring this one back in around as well. We might have a line up here. We might have a line up. Cool. Do we get something? G. If I just turn on the ammo count, I can then sort of see where it ends up. That's not bad, actually. Just it's sort of aiming for where it's going to be. We'll just turn that back off again. I'll just again, just keep it sort of circling down and around. And keep this one also just sort of leveling up a little bit to see what sort of opportunities we can then get. All right. It went up, and it's actually firing at the other aircraft. Now, it went in a different direction than what we thought, so we're not going to really be able to do much with this one, I don't think. Yes, we'll just bring that one back up. We can't do much with the left, so we're just going to have to sort of do what we can. We're sort of at maximum. This thing is going to try to sneak in around behind this one. So there was some firing that was then done, and it looks like it may try to come back in over the top. So let's actually now bring this one aggressively around with the Gs and try to sort of get in behind where it's supposed to be. So hopefully we're going to be able to avoid the firing. And then this one here as well, we'll start to bring this one in around the other side as well without putting the G-forces on. It's a long way off now. This is going to be the interesting one here. Swing it around. So it's 3 versus 1 at the moment. Now we start to see different things with this aircraft. In fact, I'll just show you what this is. When you see the little white arrows, it means that it's losing airspeed. When you see the red, that means it's actually in stall mode. And so it's basically going to be stalling at that point. So it's going to start to come back down again. Our aircraft have all got good speed. It doesn't. So it's actually losing its airspeed quite dramatically. You can see here, this is Y. Schmidt. He's now at 178. Actually, sorry, 393 kilometers per hour. That seems a lot, actually, for what it is. But anyway, that's an indication of airspeed. So Y Knight will have to sort of start to come back up and just see what sort of opportunities we end up getting. Again, I'll just keep that G-forces on the edge. Tutor as well. We don't want to put too much G. I'll just sort of get that one a bit more leveled out, and then we'll figure out what to do. And then this one is still coming back in around. And again, I'm just going to release the G-forces so we don't have anywhere near as much. And we'll just start to sort of then swing back up so we can get into a position where we might get a shot or so once we figure out what's going on. It's spinning right around. I might just now put the go to G again, and that should be, we should be in a reasonable position here to spin back around in behind him. At Y Knight, it's also then got shots where it's going to be coming straight at him. I don't think we're going to get much opportunity there, so we'll just start to come up towards it. If I can kamikaze it, I will. Actually, I'll do that. Let's see what happens. See if we can actually get a. Oh, we do get a shot there. Well, let's turn it on. There's nothing in behind it, so I'm not going to get. There is friendly fire in this, but we'll just see if we can get a shot there. We also may have the opportunity to kamikaze it as well, so we'll just go that way. And this one's not going to. The enemy's not going to have hardly any control simply because of what's happened with it. Let's just now move this one back up and around. Yeah, that'll be okay. I'll spin that one back through. Just go with the one that's got the shots on it and just see what happens with this one. Here we go. We've got one hit on it, but nothing much. Now, I'll just see if I can kamikaze it, see if we can sort of get something happening. I don't think I can. In here. Yeah, we're sort of traveling. We're just missing it slightly. Well, you know, just for the fun of it. I'll just see if I can sort of then go and do it. Yeah, I can't quite get it to happen. I'll just spin back around so we're sort of looking down at where it actually is. And his aircraft took no damage at this stage. Simpson is going to be sort of coming out over the top. What I might do is I might just turn the throttle off. I'm going to cut the throttle completely just so we sort of don't put as much G-forces on as we sort of come back into this dive, and then we'll actually turn it on again as we sort of swing back around. So this will then just get us over this area. So we're then lining him up, and then the that one there is also coming around to line him up. This one is just going to keep on swinging around to just without the G-forces. We'll just get to there. That'll do us. All right, let's see what happens here. We do have a bit of a line-up here now, where we've got some good opportunities, I think, with the way that this aircraft may be able to get ready for the next attack. Let's just try to get these dives and things into a position where we end up in a good looking arrangement. Yeah, there we go. We do get some firing there. Let's just turn on the ammo. He hasn't fired yet. And we'll now go to the next aircraft and just start to sort of just get ready for moving in. Got to be very mindful of just how high you are up above the ocean, so we don't want to be putting too much stress on our aircraft. So I'll just stay a little bit so we can then just spin back over. And this one here is now coming back in around as well. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, we hit its tail, and it's now trying to get enough speed to then come back out of this, and we're in a good position now to follow this one through. You can see the critical damage done to his rudder, left elevator, lost the rudder, and he's lost his elevator. So he's no longer got any real control over his aircraft. I won't replay it, but that's essentially his aircraft is now pretty much crippled in terms of being able to maneuver a lot. So he's going to be very, very, like he can still well, even getting to where he is up through here is going to be hard actually for him, because he's only got his ailerons he can really make use of. And with this one through here, he's more than likely going to spin back the other way, I think. So let's just go back to these different guys, start to spin these around. And yeah, we're very low to the ground here. 131 meters, so I'll keep that one nice, and I'll keep that one there. That will be okay. We've got full throttle there. This one is also full. Let's just go and set this one up so we've ending up just starting to get it lined up. So just sort of come in behind it. This one we had cut the throttle. We'll now just put it back so that we actually now have it back to full throttle again. And in this case, we just want to get in behind where he actually is. So if I go back to cut throttle, I'll keep the cut throttle on. Just got to remember to bring it back off. Let's just press the G back and through this other side. I'm thinking we're going to be in a good position at around about here. So let's just go that way, and then we'll sort of see what we can actually end up with. All right. Yeah, see how he sort of kept on going fairly straight, and now we do have him pretty much lined up. Okay, now we have to get our throttle up. You can see there, as I bring the throttle up, the aircraft goes further forward. It starts off in here where it's going to be stalling. There it's going to be just luffing a little bit, and there it's actually now got full control. So let's now drag this one down, and it's hardly going to have any actual abilities. Let's just go and press G, and we should almost be able to just start to fire. Yeah, even there, there's a little bit of firing there. I'm just going to start to try to tweak this a little bit more, just so we end up getting exactly what we want. Let's turn the ammo on for him. So he's going to start to try to then be coming in behind to fire at this guy. We'll go back to this one here, which is close to like 141. It's still 141. It's not too bad. We'll bring this one down as well, see if we can sort of swing back in to help out with the fight. So we'll bring that one around. That one's got full throttle. This one's still on full throttle as well. And all three will now start to spin back in around behind the behind the Messerschmitt. Let's just press G. And I will put a bit more throttle, a bit more G-forces on this one, just to swing it back in around, just so we can line it up. All right, let's see what happens with this. Yeah, we've got more critical damage on the right elevator and the coolant radiator as well. So we're going to start to see the engine's going to now start to take some damage. If you go and have a bit of a look at that one, the last shot was the coolant, and so that will actually be at the front of the aircraft in here somewhere. And we'll start to see oil and stuff will start to leak, and there'll be, you know, there may be flames that might start up, but there's probably going to be a lot of smoke coming out of the, actually, no, there'll be the oil. There's all sorts of different aspects on the aircraft that can get hit with this. It models it incredibly well, but we're now completely lined up in through here, so we can just go back into our different mode. There's the other one, which can sort of just start to swing back in around now behind this aircraft. We've got tutor as well, which we can now start to also then just bring back, but I don't want to get in the way of the others. So we'll just bring that one across and start to sort of line this one up. And then this one here. Yep, so we're going to get some more shots in on here as well. Just press G, and in this case we'll just turn on the ammo again. Just keep on firing, basically, at this one. And again, it's got very little control. And if I just go back to G again, I can just sort of see where it thinks it's going to have everything lined up. So that's probably the best one there. All right, let's continue on. Enter and then enter. See the amount of, like, with the coolant gone. Now we didn't actually get any hits in that particular phase, but we are lining right up behind him now. There we go. We get a whole lot of different shots fairly early on. The earlier I do this, probably the better, but I do want to be in a position to line him right up. So we're how far off the? We're 131 meters off. So keep on firing. And this one's going to keep on also then coming back up. And again, I've just got to be careful I don't get in the way of my other aircraft. So I'll just come up a little bit above them. Also got to be careful I don't fly into the bullets. Let's just move that one up there. And this one, just move it back up and around. Just press the G again, just so I can see, it can line up where it's going to be going. That should be okay, about there. So we'll be below the aircraft. We're going to be sort of in each other's way ultimately as we come through, but this will be fun. We'll just see what actually happens. All right, let's hopefully we don't get any friendly fire. We're going to be very close here, actually, but that's just the way it's going to have to go. Lost this right elevator. It's attempting to bail out now, so we've actually have essentially won the combat. Now we have other aircrafts that are starting to sort of walk, also just come straight back up through where we are. Let's just keep on firing at this thing. He is attempting to get out. We can just leave it at this point in time. I think I'm going to move the other two out of the zone at this point in time. They don't have any clear shots, so he's going to try to get out of here. Why Knight can just sort of swing back around, and we'll just get out of the way. And this one as well. We'll just get out of this dive and just move out of the way. Okay. Yep, open canopy, critical damage to his main engine, lost the coolant radiator, critical damage to the tail now as well. So if you go and have a look at the actual aircraft, it is completely collapsing now. This is, so you can see the coolant, the smoke coming out of where the coolant was. And so all these different hits, he's going to now try to bail. I'm just going to let him bail. He's not going to make it, unfortunately, because he's actually too close to the water, I think. His parachute won't open in time. I don't know whether to keep on firing at him or not. This one here, I'm just going to leave that one to continue sort of on its merry way. And this one here, we'll also get it to just sort of get out of the way as well. And this one, we'll stop firing, but we'll just fly over essentially where the damage was done. Again, we're 100 meters up now above the surface. I might even just go to level flight. So let's see what happens here. He's bailed from the plane, and A. Simpson shot down a Luftwaffe plane. So that's actually now been done. So now the enemy aircraft are now out of play. So essentially, this is now the end of it. We can essentially automate the final results. We can just go and press enter. And at this point in time, we can then sort of do saves and stuff like this. So we've got one bailout. We've got one kill back in through there as well. The commit our turn. We'll just go and commit. Yeah, and that's it. That's done. This is now the replay of the whole thing. So we can sort of we can save the replay, which is fairly cool actually to see what actually does happen here. Flawless victory. There we go. That was pretty cool. Here's the first plane hitting the water. It all happens pretty quickly. Don't know whose plane we're actually looking at. Must be Simpson's plane. Yep, there he goes. Turn it on his tail. It happens very quickly, like it's just 10 seconds or a few seconds per turn. And that's it, game over. So I'll save that replay again. So it says random match, but it's part of that campaign. So we'll just go and save, and yeah, we can go back and review the match. You know, if we wanted to go back and actually have a close look at everything that actually happens, the full extent of the whole thing. We've got all these different camera controls as well to see exactly what did happen at each phase of the actual combat. If I just go and review the score there, and then exit to the main menu, exit the match, confirm to continue, return to stats or confirm exit, enter. And that was it. So we ended up with a successful mission for Bravo section, and now we can just progress time to the next mission. So anyway, that sort of shows, I guess, the scope of where the game currently is. I didn't plan on actually playing out a full dogfight because it can take a little bit of time to sort of see it, but it's very cool the way the game actually does do this aspect. This is why the game rates so highly. It is a lot of fun, and it's not onerous simply because you can see there's losses 0, 2 for the Luftwaffe. We're doing well. We've already started fairly well. So the next one would be progress time. Looks like we had nothing at 11 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Progress time. See if there's anything else that actually happens. Nothing. 5 p.m. and there's a scramble. There goes Alpha section scrambling from the field, and Stukas now coming in. So we've got 3 Spitfires down low with a whole lot of Stukas. 6 Stukas would then have to be destroyed. So again, these have got like different ways of fighting. So these are slower. I'm not sure if they have to then try to kill off these, if this is their targets or not. I'm not exactly sure how that one does work, but we would then have to use our Spitfires to then shoot down the bombers, these little bombers. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time. Please like and subscribe if you like this sort of content. And as I say, this is a game that's rating very, very highly, and particularly for a game where I was half expecting to see a lot of comments from people saying that they were disappointed that the campaign wasn't there, but there's not, and which is good. Like, it means that people are enjoying the game, and it's just going to get better and better and better. So with the early access, you can be sort of part of that process, or you can wait till the actual launch. But I'm guessing the launch will be some time away. I think there'd be a lot of work to still be done. Anyway, I'll leave it there. I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.